Well, hello, IDS 104 students, and welcome to week 6, module 6 in your IDS 104 learning community. Today's webinar topic is Think It Through, Making Better Decisions with Better Information. As always, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. Couple of webinar reminders. This is an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. And these learning community webinars are not graded or required, but hopefully you are learning a little bit more about how to do your assignments and how to find everything from week to week and understanding the concepts that we are working on in your course. So y'all, we only have a couple of weeks left in our IDS 104 course. So I wanted to take a minute and just kind of check in. One, I wanted to make sure that you all are consistently checking those course announcements and checking your SNE2 student email. It's so important because that is how your faculty member will communicate with you via those course announcements, and the university uses that SNE2 email to communicate with you. So make sure you are checking those, okay? Also, it's so important that you know your current grade, how you've done on your assignments, and your progress in your classroom space. If you have fallen behind at all or gotten stuck, this is the time to reach out to your course instructor and see if you can make a plan to get caught up. They can easily say no, but every answer is no unless we try, right? So I always say that some points are better than no points. So make sure you connect with your faculty if you want to get caught up, or if you're stuck, or if you need any guidance. This is also a great time of the term to kind of pause and just stop and think about what's been working well this term for you, what might need some adjustment so that you can finish the next couple of weeks strong and get this course all set and done and behind you as you navigate yourself onto your next classes. Plus, it's a really great reminder to make sure that you're utilizing those SNHU resources. Y'all have so much support directly from your Brightspace classroom. So make sure that you click on that help area in online student services, because it pulls up a menu of every single department here at the university that is available and has the opportunity to serve you shall you need extra support or need anything. Okay. So this week's topic is a lot about decision making. So why do decisions matter? So I think it's really important first to understand that every choice we make has some sort of a ripple effect, right? So it's so important that we are making good decisions, the best that we can, right? So it's important, if we can, to make thoughtful decisions. So we don't want to rush through it. It can be so hard, I know sometimes, y'all, just to pause before we have an answer or before we make a decision, but sometimes we really need to stop, pause, and reflect before we make that decision. We want to make sure that our decision making is curious. You know, if we have questions about things or something's not clear or we're not sure on something, let's make sure we're asking those questions and make sure that we are making decisions from an informed perspective, right? That we are making a decision based on facts, not feelings. That's what I always like to say. But also that we're making decisions that are not based on assumptions. We've done our homework, we know how we feel, and we feel good about what decision we're going to make. It's really also important to understand that every perspective matters, including yours. So the way you think and act and react is shaped by the experiences that you have had in your life. It is shaped by what or who you value. It is shaped by your culture, your background, your knowledge, right? That is who you are and how your view is shaped. But it's also so important that we respect and listen to and give ourselves the opportunity and ability to see how other people can bring different perspectives. We may not agree on everything. We may not see things from the same lens. However, we can really learn a lot from each other. So when we can consider more than one viewpoint or one train of thought, it can really allow us to make smarter decisions, okay? So a lot of times students try to think as they're navigating through the content this week, like, what are some strategies for making those thoughtful decisions? Well, like we talked just briefly about just a couple slides ago, is it can be really helpful when you're faced with a decision to pause, gather facts, gather information, reflect upon it, and then move forward, not just to make a snap decision unless it's something you have to, right? That good old pros and cons list. Have you guys ever done that when you're faced with a decision or you have to consider something? Making a list of the pros and a list of the cons can really help you make an effective and thoughtful decision. Asking for input from different voices, different people, different perspective always gives you a nice full circle moment to really consider all your options before you move forward with something or don't move forward with something. And then think big picture. If you make this decision this way now, how does that impact your future goals or even your values? And after we make a decision, sometimes we have to just stop and reflect, like what worked and what didn't. And that can really help you the next time you're faced with a challenge or a decision that you need to make. One of the most important things to y'all is it's really important for you to stay flexible. We have so much information coming at us all day, every day. Plus we have different lives that we're living. We have our work life, we have our personal lives, we have that academic life and a little bit of everything in between. And so sometimes we're always learning. So it's really important to stay flexible and understand that sometimes we might learn new information along the way when we've made a decision or we're in the process of it. Flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. It's really important, again, like we said, to have that flexibility, which gives you the opportunity to pause and reflect, review what's changed, adjust if we need to, and ask for input. So when we're flexible, it just opens us up to kind of being a little bit more aware that things can change and we can get new information, but it also allows us to ebb and flow with it, right? So, first of all, any decision we make in life, we all sometimes wish we had that crystal ball, right? But we don't have that crystal ball, but we have strategies that can really help us to determine, or predict what an outcome of a decision might be. And when we're gathering that information, if we take a minute and pause and reflect and look for patterns in past decisions, if we learn from history and real world examples, again, that facts, not feelings, decision making, and if we can compare what the expected versus actual outcome is, it can really help us grow our skills as we navigate different decisions that come at us in our life, right? And we know too that in the digital age, whew, holy smokes, there is so much information, whether it's from the TV, whether it's from our phones, whether we're on our laptops and there's news channels, or information scrolling across the bottom. But with all the information that's coming at us, not all of it is trustworthy, right? Not all of it's accurate. So it's really important that when we see something, whether it be a news article or maybe somebody's social media post or information about something, that we have to stop and pause and understand how to spot what's credible. What's a credible source? What is misinformation that might be there, and filter that out. It just helps us really strengthen our own information literacy when we can really decide what is a credible and reliable source. Again, those facts, not feelings, right? So this week in week 6, your discussion assignment is, as always, when you're going to review a series of questions and answer them. This week, though, to help you answer those discussion prompts, there are discussion scenarios that you need to click on, and it opens up a Microsoft Word document. You want to make sure that you review those discussion scenarios and then you respond to this week's discussion prompts, okay? As always, the discussion assignment initial post due Thursday with those peer responses at least to 2 classmates by Sunday or before, as convenient for your schedule. You are also going to be completing the expert evaluator activity. This is a really fun assignment. It's different. I'm going to go over some tips for your success, but know for this, you have to complete the activity and then you're going to have this statement of completion that pops up. You have to save that in a PDF form and then upload that to be submitted for your expert evaluator activity assignment. That is due by Sunday. As always, if you don't have Microsoft Word or you need it, remember, you get that Office 365 for free, okay? So the expert evaluator activity is an interactive activity where you are actually going to log into this like simulation, and it's going to help you process information from a variety of sources and understand like what's reliable, what's not, what might be opinion, bias, or misinformation. And the whole purpose of this activity is to help you evaluate information critically, okay? This is something you can put into work outside the classroom. And this activity is really, I think it's really kind of fun. I took it myself. One of the things, a couple of things I want to point out though, some super helpful tips for you is one, this activity can take between 45 minutes to 60 minutes. It just depends on you, and everybody's a little bit different. However, once you start the activity, do not stop it or navigate away from it or refresh the page, because it will not save. Your progress will not save. So once you start it, you have to finish it so it saves. If you start it and have to walk away, or the internet goes out, or you refresh it, or you let it time out, you're going to start all over. Okay. When you get to the end of this activity, there is a handy dandy little statement of completion that pops up, and you'll want to save that as a PDF file. There's instructions for this in the module, okay? If you get into that expert evaluator activity and you're stuck on something, or you're not sure on something, or there's a technical issue, always loop in your faculty. But if there's something that is technical, you want to email this infolit@snhu.edu, because they can specifically tackle any technical issues, okay? There's a whole guide in Module 6 that shows you how to download that PDF and submit it. But it's really important when you open up the Expert Evaluator activity, you will see under supporting materials, you'll see two different links. One is an Expert Evaluator activity, which that's what you click on, and that's how you'll start the actual activity. And the second one is the how to download that statement of completion. Okay, so I'm going to share the classroom space with you here in a moment and show you that also. But just a reminder, these webinars, I load them up every week. If you need to go back and watch any of them, here is the link to access the webinars. And then of course, there's super helpful focus videos that are already loaded. There is a focus video that just focuses in on how to do that expert evaluator activity. So it's a great one to watch in case you're stuck or you have questions. Okay. So let's go into that classroom space real quick. As always, don't forget to click on the introduction. Okay, so when you click on the introduction, it brings up an overview of what you're doing here in week 6, and always scroll down and arrow over. It's so important, as you all know, to make sure that you're reviewing the content that's actually within your module. You have a lot of reading within your module, so make sure that you're not missing that. Okay. Of course, you have required resources, some great podcast videos and readings this week to really support your success in answering all the questions. And I just wanted to kind of go over the assignments. Here is that discussion area. So basically, you're going to step into this decision lab, is what we're calling it, where you have critical thinking skills that are going to take center stage. So you will analyze one of the scenarios that are listed. So you want to make sure you click the blue, that's where we're going to go. Click on discussion scenarios. When you do that, it's going to open up a document that looks like this, and you're going to see these scenarios right here. So you're picking one of these scenarios, all right? You're picking one of them, and then you're going to answer the question. So let's just look at one of them. Like one of them is you're like part of a team completing a task at work. One of the group members just isn't pulling their weight. Two is a remote, coworkers. Things are different. People aren't responding. 3 is a Facebook fundraiser. Like, are you going to contribute or are you not going to contribute? 4 is a virtual presentation. How do you decide between dressing up or staying comfortable? And 5 is you've RSVP'd to a yes to an event, but now you've decided you maybe want to change your mind. So you're going to pick one of those, and then you're going to answer these questions. You're going to, 1, briefly summarize the scenario and the decision that you made in your own words. 2, identify at least 2 perspectives that could influence how you make your decision and why might they matter. And then 3, describe how you might approach making your decision differently. What parts of the decision-making process might you change and why? Okay, so remember, you need to click on these discussion scenarios. It pulls up a document that looks like this, and you just need to pick one of them. Okay, so that is your discussion assignment. As always, initial discussion post due by Thursday, with responding to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday. Now for expert evaluator activity, click on that guidelines and rubric. It's going to bring up an overview of the assignment. So you're going to see here's an overview, here's the directions. Underneath what to submit and supporting materials, this is where you will see right here. If you click the blue, it's going to open up a step-by-step guide that shows you how to download that statement of completion that you'll submit. Okay. But if you get stuck, reach out to your instructor. Remember, anything technical, there's that special email that you want to make sure that you send it to. Okay. As far as the expert evaluator activity itself, you click on expert evaluator activity. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Once it opens up the actual simulation, it will go over a couple of things, and it's going to remind you To navigate, use the forward and backward arrows. It is recommended to do this on a laptop or a computer. Mobile devices, it doesn't always work correctly. Once you start, you need to finish it, okay? Do not navigate away or refresh because it won't save. And at the end, you're going to see this statement of completion, and you want to save that, and those step-by-step instructions are in the module, okay? If there is something technical that is not working right, here is that email right here that you can email, and they can help with technical issues. Of course, keep your instructor in the loop, okay? So you're going to fill in your name, and you're going to put in your email address. And then you're going to start, right? So here we go. And you're going to have an explanation of what happened. So a tragedy has occurred. It gives you some information, and you just aren't sure who you can trust. So as you navigate through this, you're going to notice that it tells you like how to move forward through this. So you arrow forward. It's going to tell you what you need to review to evaluate and choose. One of the things I wanted to point out is there's videos embedded right here. So you want to click through and watch these videos as you're navigating. But also something I want to point out is when you get to some of these slides, you're going to see these little flashing yellow blurbs. If you click on them, it pulls up information you want to make sure that you review. So click on those yellow little blurbs because, or bubbles, I guess, because it pulls up information that you're going to want to make sure you review. Some students didn't realize this. I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out to you, okay? So this is just a really quick, just like how to of how you're going to get started and work through it. You want to make sure you watch all the videos, review all the information, because there's going to be questions that you're going to have to answer at various sections to be able to move on to the next spot. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that I showed you that. Just a reminder too, here for week 6, let's go to course menu, learning modules. And let's go back to week 6. I just want to remind you all, making sure you have that discussion assignment. Remember, click on the discussion scenarios, pick one, answer the questions. Initial post due Thursday, peer responses due by Sunday or before. And then for that expert evaluator activity, remember when you click on that underneath supporting materials, it's right here. Click the blue and it gets you started. Once you start the activity, you need to finish it. Okay. And then here's that step-by-step process of how to get, when you get to the end and it's all done, how to save that statement of completion. Okay. If you get stuck, if you have any questions, remember to reach out to your instructors, of course, as always. This is a fun week. I like the assignments this week. I like all of them, but I think that expert evaluate activity is super fun. So I'm anxious to see what you guys think about it. It really made me consider the sources that I think about when I hear about different situations. I think it's a really great activity that is applicable both inside and outside the classroom. So y'all, week 6, have a fabulous week 6, and I will see you in week 7. You got this, y'all.